Me podcast
with Christina
and Lance, where we discuss various topics that impact parents and children with the purpose of inspiring authenticity, openness, and connection.
We want our audience to stay curious and courageous, but most importantly, safe.
This is an I'm Motherfucking Awesome You production.
Welcome to the My Mom and Me podcast. This is my mom, Christina.
Oh, am I supposed to say hi? What up, y'all? I thought you were about to say who you were.
No.
Sorry.
And I'm Lance. Hello. How are you doing today?
This is what, episode 2?
Yep.
Yeah.
Episode 2. This episode we will be talking about the learning aspect of a school environment. This is a 2-parter. Congratulations. This early on, too.
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay.
So, don't look at the top of the page.
Oh, okay. I won't.
We are.
I can't help it because you got your notebook out, so I want to look at it. Like, I want to read it. I'll just keep looking at the camera.
You can't just look at the smile. So, not sure if this can be counted as a disclaimer or not, but we understand that not all learning environments work for everyone. This is what works for me and what doesn't work for me. Just keep that in mind as we discuss the amount of...
You mean that not everybody's the same? That's... Wow. What a novel idea.
Fuck. Oh, here we go. And so it begins.
I'm going to keep all this stuff in here just so you know.
Okay, so... Do you want to start with the negatives or the positives?
We start wherever you want to start. This is your podcast. I'm just here to be, you know.
You're on here with me, my dude.
I know, but I'm here for to be the entertainment. I'm just like the sidekick, the jester. I'm also the pot stirrer and the devil's advocate. What do you want to start with? Psychologically, negative is easier to start with than positive. It's just the way we're built.
Yes, now we get to complain. Complain first, compliment later.
Is that really how that goes?
Apparently so.
Oh, okay.
Alright. So.
I like that shirt you're wearing.
It's a jacket, first of all.
No, it's not. It's a shirt.
How is this a fucking shirt?
It's a shirt. Woo pig. She's not even a Razorbacks fan. I am.
You gave it to me.
I know, but I think it's funny. You just wear it because it's black.
It's comfy. It's very comfy.
Woo pig, y'all.
So, the shit that doesn't really work for me. Oh boy.
Do you think it only just doesn't work for you?
This really hurts me.
It
hurts me on a spiritual level.
You're so dramatic. You're so dramatic. All right, let's talk about this. We're like 4 minutes in and we haven't talked about anything.
Oh no. It's 3 minutes, but okay. I have headphones on. I can still hear them.
Because the headphones really aren't doing anything. We just wear them to look cute. You're going to take them off?
Alright then. I look cute without them. What's up with... What?
Well, now I got to go put earrings on if I take them off.
No, you don't. So.
I'm wearing mine. I look cute.
The shittiest learning environment for...
Let's go with
yours
the
truly.
worst learning environment.
For me, truly. For yours, truly. Your child. Your lovable child.
Will you freaking get on with the podcast? Hi, Odin.
Oh, hi.
Come say meep, meep, meep in here.
Meep, meep.
You gonna say meep, meep?
God.
Oh, got Odin butt all in the way again.
It's just a tail this time.
Thanks for showing me your butthole.
He's so fluffy.
I know, he needs a haircut on his butt. Y'all, we have to cut my cat's butt hair. Like, it's so bad. It's time. It looks like I don't know if you guys have ever seen the ruffle bloomers that women used to wear, like under their petticoats.
Hi.
Like that's what the back of his legs look like. It looks like ruffles.
So, shittiest learning environment for me is
Man, you're on the word shit today.
Yep, shittiest, the shitest.
Okay.
You can edit that entire stuff.
No, I'm not. I'm not editing anything out of this.
Wow. So, okay.
You keep talking about you're going to tell me about the shittiest educational environment for you.
What's the shittiest educational environment for you?
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to know mine?
Yeah. Because then I can like, oh.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, so it depends on what my goal is. So if I really want to learn, like I really want to understand and learn, I do not do well in like a virtual environment because I don't learn anything. I probably really should not say this on here because I'm in a PhD program that is all online.
Don't say it.
But so I don't learn anything at all in my online classes until I have to actually do a paper or research or something like where it's forced on me.
I mean, that's...
And hold on.
Isn't that like most people though?
No, hold on.
Okay.
So when I end up doing the paper, like it's really hard because I don't know what I'm doing because I didn't learn anything. And then that's when I learn. That is not how I want to learn. I remember in my master's program, it was all online and I learned absolutely nothing. I got good grades, but I learned absolutely nothing. So when it came time to do my capstone, I was basically starting at square one. So I'm a kinesthetic learner if I want to learn. Now, if I just want to get a passing grade and get those credits, like online is the way to be. Unless they give you busy work.
Yeah.
I don't like busy work.
God, I hated that.
But I prefer lectures. And as long as they're good, like I don't like the wah, 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 like Charlie Brown's teacher, but good lectures. And I have to be doing something with my hands. Even if I'm not doing anything with the actual learning, I have to do something like play with Play-Doh, draw, doodle, something. I have to be moving to learn anything. So when I'm doing my online classes, I'm just sitting there trying to get it done.
Yeah.
So that's for me.
No,
That's really technical answer. I don't think your answer is that technical. She's being like, I hate shitty teachers. That's the worst learning environment for me.
So, on a few of your points, because hold on, this kind of works for me. The one about what was that term you used?
Kinesthetic?
Yeah, like, what is that?
You have to physically move to learn. So a lot of people think it's some people have to actually do the task to learn, which that I do too. Like I learn much better if I have to do the task. But I've learned that if I doodle or play with Play-Doh or something, write notes, like I handwrite notes. I don't type them because you retain more when you handwrite. So that's kinesthetic. You're doing something to retain the knowledge. You could also chew gum. If you chew gum and you chew the same flavor of gum when you take a test that you did when you were actually in class, you'll get a better grade on your test. Because your body associates the memories.
We're going to take notes on that.
You're not going back to school, so why are you taking notes?
Okay, I said I wasn't going to go to college yet.
You still haven't talked about yourself. We're just talking about me.
So.
I do delete the so you can keep saying so all you want. So. I've been saying lately. It's driving me nuts because my brain is foggy right now. You know that. My brain is super foggy right now.
Don't you know?
Because I have a lot of stressors going on. So now when I'm talking, I'm like, and so,
Don't you know? Don't you know?
Oh, you want me to do that?
No.
Oh, for corn's sakes, Bobby. So I was talking to Beth this morning, and I said, and oh my gosh, it irritated me because I just edited a video yesterday and I had to delete out so many of those. So it really stuck with me when I was talking to my friend on the phone. I'm like, oh, I sound like an idiot. Oh, for corn's sakes, Bobby. I love the Mom on Bobby's World.
So the
These podcasts are a hot mess. Will you talk about it?
We'll talk about hot mess podcasts in like later episodes. The thing about doing stuff while you're learning.
Don't do that. You don't want to talk into the top. You want to talk into the side right there.
About doing stuff while you're learning. That's a me thing too.
Okay.
So
Makes sense. You're my kid.
yeah. But then you got like, you're like, hey, stop doing that. I'm like, but why? It's like,
What were you doing that they told you to stop doing? Please tell me.
So this happened in the shittiest 3 years of my life.
Oh my goodness. Middle school?
Yep.
Okay, so in middle school.
So I'm sitting there in social studies, history, whichever it was, just writing stupid things on like a separate sheet of paper because like I needed my hands to move. And my teacher came over and was like, stop that. I'm like,
Were you taking notes?
she didn't let us take notes.
Were you doodling?
I wasn't doodling. She doesn't let us take notes. She didn't let us take notes, and I wasn't doodling.
Why can't you take notes in class? That's just weird.
I don't know. She was a weird
I
teacher.
remember my teachers, a couple of them, would make us take notes a specific way, and I hated it. Like, it's like, you draw a line down your paper, and you have a line on the bottom, and this goes here, and this goes here, and I'm like, that, okay. But, so, your sister had the same issue.
Like, why? I'm not doing anything wrong.
Yeah, so she had one teacher that suggested that she have a notebook that she can doodle in while she's learning. And then the next year, the next teacher she got was like, absolutely no. And I'm like, well, then she's going to fail your class. Thanks.
Yeah. It was just... and, like, the thing is, I did that consistently in all of my classes. And the moment she fucking noticed, she's like, no, stop that. I'm like, it helps me learn. I'm not failing any of my classes currently.
So, a lot of teachers that have quirks, but get on.
I'm not done yet. And then when I stopped doing that, I started getting bad, like, not as good as grades in her class. And she's like, why didn't you know? I'm like, I don't know. Why not?
So I think a lot of teachers have these weird rules because I'm gonna probably regret saying this. I feel like sometimes teachers have poor boundaries to begin with. So if they have poor boundaries to begin with, these students get out of control, and then they just start throwing rules out there,
like hella arbitrary rules.
Right, without considering the ramifications
towards like certain things that help students learn and retain information.
Well, it would probably came from students were, writing notes to each other or not paying attention in class. And instead of just being on those students that were not utilizing their freedom appropriately, she made a blanket rule that impacts students like you. But some teachers can't handle that conflict. They can't handle that one-on-one conflict, where they would rather just be like, nope, nothing. And, there's nothing you can really do about it.
Yeah. Sadly.
So that was the example of your crappiest class ever?
Hold on. No.
Oh.
That was just in middle school about the entire, I can't remember.
Oh, kinesthetic?
Learning for me.
Kinesthetic.
Okay. Now, when teachers are like, those certain teachers are like, yeah, whatever.
I look really chubby.
You look fluffy.
I do. I look really chubby.
You look
at
fluffy.
Look at that.
Looks like side boob to me.
No, it does not.
It actually does look. It did look like side boob. So, shut up.
We're going to put that video.
You know how there are those teachers out there that are like, whatever, do what you want. I'm not going to teach you. Shit. And then I'm going to get on your ass about you failing my class despite me not giving you the materials or the help you need. And then when exams roll around, they're like, I taught you this. And we're like, no, you didn't.
How do you think it feels to be a teacher and your students don't pass a test?
When you don't teach them the material?
Well, hold on. No. We're not talking about that. I asked you a specific question. How do you think the teachers feel when they put all this work in and their students don't pass a test?
Is it the entire class we're talking about, or select few students?
Let's say about half the class.
About half the class. Pretty shitty, because the way our
We're going to have to put a curse
system...
word disclaimer on the beginning of this one. Keep going.
Because with the way the school system is made, every teacher has a rating based on how good their students do.
So do you think it causes them some anxiety?
It does. Now, what's really stupid is that it shouldn't, not necessarily, not completely, always be in, according to standardized testing, because that's when the ratings actually come into play and stuff. When you have students that do really good and they have like this off the charts fucking number that they're supposed to attain on that standardized test, but they answer every single question correctly and they still don't get that number, it brings the teacher's rating down. Because what do you want us to do? Write a question on there on the standardized test itself and answer it correctly?
Stop knocking your mic. No, here. So listen.
No.
You are taking this way left field. When all I asked was, how do you think?
Now they feel crappy because
They're not just crappy. They're probably afraid.
It's like, oh, my rating's gonna go down.
No, so that's one thing, right? They're afraid. So you could have practiced a little bit of empathy with your teachers, right? Number one. Number two, what do you think those students that did get good grades in those classes do? Do you think that they just said, well, the teacher's dumb, or they just magically knew the information? What do you think they did?
Struggled with the material.
They probably had to study, right? They had to put extra effort in.
Yeah. I'm like,
Now,
no,
I don't care if you get A's. You know that.
As long as it's a C or above, you're fine.
Right, because it's your responsibility. So it's not the teacher's, it's yours. You can't change the teachers.
I know. But at least help the students when they go to you.
Maybe they have tried that. Did you go to the teacher?
Yes.
Oh. What did the teacher say? Fuck off?
Essentially.
No, what did the teacher say?
It's like, oh, I taught you this. I taught you the material. I'm like, but I need help with material. And I was like, no, go ask someone else. I'm like, I did.
Did you ask me?
What were you doing when I was a kid? Working all the time?
I was not.
Oh, really?
Not in middle school, I wasn't.
Not in middle school?
No.
What were you doing in middle school?
I was a stay-at-home mom.
Why were you a stay-at-home mom in middle school? I can't remember.
Because I got out of the military.
Oh, right. Right. Probably because I shut myself off from most of the family.
I mean, you passed. That's what matters to me. But
yeah, I passed. But
you talk about these crappy learning environments.
It was a shitty learning
right,
environment.
And I have this. I've had crappy learning environments too. And there's only one class that I failed on purpose.
Math.
Nope. I'm not talking about in high school. Like, I barely passed high school, and it wasn't my fault. Y'all, I know I shouldn't blame others, but me almost not passing high school was not my fault. When you move schools 23 plus times, because I'm pretty sure I underestimated throughout your childhood and missed school because of being in the social system and stuff. But my senior year, They told me I was a year and a half behind, tried to send me to alternative school. I said, no, the fuck you're not. I am not pregnant, and I am not a delinquent. Tell me something else. And I did a year and a half of high school in one school year, and I was even a month behind when I got there. Like, I was a month late to the starting. And I had to take a semester of freshman English, a semester of sophomore English, a semester of junior English, and a whole year of senior English.
How many classes
in
did
one?
you have?
I had no electives. I had to do all of my classes.
How many classes did you have?
I had a full schedule, and then I had to do, they didn't have distance learning back then. So, except for like the alternative school for the pregnant chicks, right?
So they had you take books home and learn.
They gave me what if I would have went to, like, let's say I was pregnant and I went to the distance learning, whatever school, because I'm pregnant, right? That's what they gave me, but I didn't go there. I was at my high school. Having a normal high school experience, well, as normal as it can be with all those classes. Because I wanted to graduate on time. They wanted to either hold me back or send me to alternative school. And I wasn't having it. That was the first time in my life I ever took control of anything and said no.
It was like, no.
No. I refused to go to school until my dad let me move to Arizona. I, got to Arizona and they told me this. I was like, nope, not happening. And anytime something happened, I was like, nope, this needs to happen. Nope, this needs to change. And I really took control of my life. And I think we should empower our children to do the same. To not blame their teachers. I'm not saying that there aren't bad teachers out there. What I'm saying is you have to move around them. I talk about that all the time. If you hit a brick wall, you could either keep bumping up against it because it's the brick wall's fault, right? Or you can find another way. Over, under, around, I don't care. Hell, if you want to bulldoze through it, that's fine. But you better find that bulldozer to do it. Right?
Yeah.
Knocking the mic.
I am laughing over here.
Whatever.
Ugh.
So what are you going to do if you go back to school and you have a crappy teacher? Because I had terrible teachers in all of my college. Like, not all the classes, but like all of my degrees. I've had not so great teachers.
So online resources, right? And chat groups, right? Right?
Okay.
Those exist. So use those.
How do you think this COVID thing is going to affect students that are like you?
I mean, I do pretty good on distance learning, online learning.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. You learn or you pass?
I learn.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know.
Because I get to fiddle with all the stuff I want while I'm just working on
That's
my
true.
assignments.
You like to listen to music and stuff, too.
Yep.
Charlie does, too. I don't know how y'all concentrate with that stuff.
It has to do with a pattern. Like, it's not, like, some students listen to, like, rap.
Classical.
Rap.
I'm
like,
sitting here going classical and you're like, rap.
But it has to do with the patterns because it's a repetitive thing. Now, the lyrics change, but there's always a certain pattern.
I would catch myself singing and not paying attention. Like, especially when I have to read articles.
And for me, when I'm listening to music, I usually use my character playlists for, like, my D&D characters, or my drawing, writing, or chill playlist because...
I feel bad because I keep yawning. It's not you.
You're just tired. Or, so... like, those usually have, like, chill songs that will have, like, the vibe of the playlist are, like, chill. But not the drawing one. Like, if I need to stay up, that's the one I play when I'm working.
Yeah, see, I can listen to music when I'm doing, I don't want to say repetitive tasks because building a website has not been repetitive, but it doesn't require me to read.
Think much.
Yeah, read a whole lot. You know that, so when I'm doing, like, reading stuff because, y'all, I don't read all the texts and all the articles.
Read the question and then skim for the answer.
Yep, I'm a hunt and find gal, yes I am. And let me tell you, on all those standardized tests that we had, I was in the top 5 or top 10 percentile. because I am a beast at hunt and find.
And I do the same thing too, although I do read the entire thing and I'm like...
I don't.
Like,
Nope.
Mark that. Oh, skim. Great. Now
That's too much.
when I really don't want to read the entire thing, I will just read the question. Go find the
Like, I
answer.
have to, so for my
Sorry.
dissertation, I have to, like, read these articles. And it is, so it's the beginning and the end are great. It's the middle piece that just drives me absolutely nuts because it's just so mundane. It's like it's the research that they did. Yeah. We had this many Caucasians, this many African Americans. They were age range this to this, and this, and X, Y over 9. And I'm just like, and it's like 4 pages of that. So what I have to do...
Y equals MX plus B.
Well, so it's really important that I read these entire research papers for my dissertation. The other ones, whatever. But if it's for my dissertation, it's really important. So I created a form based off of 2 different... Y'all, this is what I do. I'm a process improvement person. I created a form off of 2 different resources that I found that it's like I still am hunting and finding. I have to fill in those blanks on there, like what method did they use? What tools did they use? And so what other theories did they mention? So I was still doing hunt and find. So it makes me have to go through the entire article and I read it, I underline, I take notes, I have sticky notes all over them. So it keeps me engaged. Like you asked me, right, about my books? I was reading a book.
I'm like, why do you write in your
I was
book?
reading a book and I'm underlining things with a pen and circling things. That's how I continue. That's how I can keep going because I'm so kinesthetic.
Annotations in the margins.
I have to. I have to do something or I will not retain it.
Like I can't. Like, you know how in English class they make you like read passages and like annotate and stuff. I can't do that. I'm just like, I read, and if I need like a small detail, I'll just highlight
You're
it.
terrible students.
Me?
Like, we don't even read this stuff. Like, what's wrong with us?
Look, man, I had to read an entire, like, 5 acts worth of Hamlet.
Did I pass on my strategic laziness to you?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. So are you telling me about what you like? Have we talked about that yet?
No, not yet. We haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, we've got more stories? Okay.
Once
again, y'all, I hope you like going in circles because that's what we do.
And then, so what really,
you know I have all those in the videos.
What really Jimmy's my jams. What really Jimmy's my jams is...
Jimmy's your jams. Is that like a new thing? I've never heard that one. Or is it like from the olden days?
I don't know.
Jimmy's her jams.
It's like... To me, it has like the same connotation of get your panties in a twist or something like that.
Oh.
So Jimmy's my jams.
Oh, it sounded like a good thing, like float your boat, but okay.
No.
Jimmy's my jams.
No. Because remember when the kids were like getting out of the box that we had them in, and Kale said, "Oh, Jimmy jamming," like escaping. You don't remember?
No.
Yeah.
She barely talks, so when she does, like, I don't even hear her anymore. And she mumbles.
So. She does. So,
she's so quiet. She's a little mouse.
Why did we call her Bear?
No, I called her Kayla Bear because she had Winnie the Pooh stuff when she was a baby. And she's so grumpy and likes to sleep. She's grumpy and likes to sleep. That's really why it stuck. Like, it was just because of Pooh, and then she's a bear.
She is.
She likes her cave all to herself. She likes it dark. She's a bear. She's a beast. She hates when I call her that, by the way.
Yeah.
I think she secretly loves it, but definitely not in public. So this, don't be calling Kayla Bear.
It's gonna stick to whoever listens to this anyway.
All right, Lancelot.
Do I look like someone who would quite literally participate in courtly love?
What are you talking about?
I'm gonna talk to you about Arthurian legends.
You think I call you Lancelot because of King Arthur when I keep telling you it's because
it's
Lancelot Link,
secret chimp.
Lancelot Link, secret chimp. I used to watch that with my dad. I love that show.
Now, what contributes to a learning environment is not just the teachers, but the students themselves. Like, are they paying attention? Are they actually trying to do the work? Are they asking each other for help?
Kids are assholes.
Kids are assholes. Okay, and it only gets worse in high school because...
I hope you're not rubbing on your mic, because it's going to be a lot.
Like, and it only gets worse in high school because video games, phones, and the like. Just electronics in general. And then you have the class clown group, and they're just like, yeah, Fortnite, whatever.
I can't stand those kids.
I can't stand
Even
those kids.
when I was in high school, they drove me nuts. Like, shut up.
They drive me nuts still.
So disrespectful to the teachers.
And I'm like...
I was rude to a teacher once.
Was I mean, I think I was rude and I left class that one time because the teacher was disrespectful to the entire class, but...
Yeah, the old man.
Yeah.
Poor old man.
He was an asshole to us first.
Doesn't matter, he's a poor old man.
I just left because I didn't want to deal with it.
I hope you're okay with me when I turn into an asshole, because that's how we get when we get old. We have no fucks.
No fucks whatsoever. It's not like you give any fucks now.
I do. I give a few.
You still have a few fuck bucks left.
I have plenty of fuck bucks. I just spend them on myself. I don't give fucks away.
Okay.
That's the way it works.
You look out the window. Now, like, those people, that group of kids, because until you're 18, you're not considered an adult.
Let's be technical, they're adolescents.
Yeah, let's not be technical over here, because I really
People are not going to want to
that
listen to this because we're over here talking about nothing.
No, those kinds of people, really disruptive. And it just hurts a little bit every time I see them. And whenever I hear Fortnite and their conversations and their kill accounts, I'm like...
Why does it hurt you?
It hurts my ears.
Why?
It grates on them.
Why?
Fortnite, to me, is a really stupid game.
But it's what they like, so why are you judging?
It is what they like. However, what does Fortnite and kill counts have to do with English?
I don't know. Do you talk about D&D in English?
No.
Oh, okay.
Never.
But you can't expect people to be like you. See, my kids hate talking to me about stuff because they don't like my answers.
I mean, it helps to see it from a different perspective.
Yeah, but you don't like that.
I mean, I don't...
I bet on this podcast you're like, God, Mom, stop.
So, and then it, like, irritates all the other people that are trying to learn and listen to the teacher, and we're like, please stop.
So, what advice can you give to parents? Because I'm pretty sure kids aren't going to be watching this because it's 18 and up.
Yeah.
What advice can you give to parents when their children tell them about these situations that you don't like? Because I'm sure you're not the only one that doesn't like it.
What advice can I give?
So, okay, so for instance, I'm going to give you each thing that you had talked about.
Okay.
So, if they're a kinesthetic learner and they're not learning anything because they're not allowed to move around and write notes, what advice can you give parents?
Based on my experience, like, all I could do was, like, fiddle with my fingers because I couldn't doodle or write little stupid dialogue, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, suggest that they, like, fiddle with their clothes or their fingers of the non-dominant hand, or just, like...
I wonder if there's, like, an exercise they can do. Like, I don't know. Like, you can't tap your desk or anything, but...
No, but, like, I usually did it on, like, my thigh.
Oh. So maybe help their kids come up with something that's not disruptive where they can still move.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good idea.
And what I've noticed is that when, like, we're doing, when it's, like, really quiet in the room, and it's, like, individual work, you can't work with partners or anything, you can't ask anyone but the teacher for help, or it's, like, a test. I've noticed, because I'm usually one of the first people to finish a test or something like that, everyone's foot is jostling like they're super fucking anxious.
They probably are.
Like,
Not only that, you guys don't have a whole lot of free time anymore, so there's no way to expel your energy.
That's what gets me the most.
Watch your mic.
No, that's what gets me the most. Like, they give us all this stuff to do. And it's like, okay, but like, when we hit like, I don't know, I mean, it probably depends on the state, like, sophomore, junior, and senior year, we have jobs at that point. So we have...
You're going off on another topic now. Let's not do that, 'cause I want to go back to this.
Yeah.
So another issue that you had is rude teachers. So what advice can you give parents if their kids are dealing with rude teachers?
So...
Definitely not walk out and go to the library, because that's what my kid did, and that is the wrong thing to do.
Okay, but also no, my anxiety was up because everyone was super aggro at that point in time.
Yeah, but you didn't even ask.
Do you want me to just ask the person who's being an asshole to everyone if I can leave?
That's the other thing, too, is
There's
the
like,
definition of asshole is subjective.
The definition of asshole is subjective. But when you irritate every single student and they're like aggressive, like not physically aggressive, but like you can tell from the body language and their tone of voice. Well,
it could be that the teacher was setting good boundaries and the other teachers didn't, and that's aggravating because you're not getting your way.
Our teacher did set boundaries. Good boundaries.
I'm just saying, it was a different environment and change is hard. So, I'm assuming this was the substitute.
Yes, and I'd rather not have an anxiety attack in class.
You can change your thought process.
Yeah, but how about I just remove myself from the environment and then we can go back to that same environment.
Can do that.
Yeah, not everyone can do that. I understand. But at that point in time, I really wasn't willing to deal with a possible anxiety
Well, I'm glad
attack.
you did that instead of punching him in the face.
Exactly.
I mean, that's much better.
What you want me to do? Throw a pencil at the dude?
No, I don't know. I don't even know how to answer that one either. So, let's see. What was the other one that you had?
Something about people talking about Fortnite and like...
Oh, yeah, when you have kids in class that annoy you. Like, what's your advice on that?
I mean, I try to ignore them as best as possible, but when they're being super loud about this stuff too, I'm like, hey, can you guys like kind of quiet it down a little bit?
What do you think would happen if you just stared at them instead of saying something? Because when you say something, you're being disruptive now.
Oh, that would make them really uncomfortable.
So I wish I would have thought of that when I was in school. Like,
Same.
Just been like...
Stare at them.
Like, don't even do a hand movement or anything. Just look at them.
With your clean, spotless...
You don't like looking at the camera, do you?
I don't like looking at the camera.
You're always looking at me, and then I'm looking at the camera.
Look at you, look at the walls, look at the ceiling,
Here,
the window.
stare into the camera so we can show people how to stare at somebody. Okay. Did we tackle the three things?
Oh, and then teachers immediately telling you you're wrong and not being open for discussion when it like comes to a topic in a lesson only. So this goes back to like the fashion class I had to take because floral design wasn't open at all. You know what school I'm talking about. We're not name dropping here. Adele.
Adele High School. My friend's gonna like that one.
Oh god, that's probably an actual high school though.
Adele.
So, we were in fashion class talking about period clothing, right? What was like fashionable at the time. And up came the topic of wigs. And I said, raising my hand, didn't they historically wear wigs to deter lice? And she said, no. I'm like, but lice was rampant back then. I mean, like, not really rampant, but like in higher classes, they wore horsehair wigs because horsehair, if you felt it, is coarse. And lice don't like that. So they normally, like, shaved their heads or, like, they kept their hair clean and they put...
They definitely didn't keep their hair clean, but okay.
Like, as clean as they could possibly get it. And that type of cleanliness attracts lice.
So let me ask you this.
It was like,
Was your teacher lecturing, or were you guys having a discussion?
We were having a discussion.
You were the only student that brought things up, or just there were other students too?
There were other students doing this too, but
Did they shoot down the other students?
No, which I'm like, okay, because I'm asking from a historical standpoint, so I could like better understand the topic of wigs, because what I know about wigs is that horsehair, no lice, blah blah blah, yada yada yada.
But was that the topic, or was it just fashion?
It was fashion, but I wanted to understand the reason behind the fashion. Was it just like a fad, or was it like for a more historical reason?
Some people, when somebody is smarter than them, especially when it's a student and a teacher, it's kind of off-putting.
And they don't like off-putting things?
Right. So they could have, because everybody has like these, and I'm not saying that's what happened. Maybe you're wrong. I don't know, y'all. I'm just saying, if the teacher said no and the teacher was wrong and you were right, everybody has these like negative things that tweak our thoughts, right? So there might be something that triggered her to kind of snap like that. And I know she didn't like yell at you or anything, but we have to consider that teachers are humans too.
Yeah, I just didn't like appreciate that.
So what did you do? Did you just shut down?
I just went, okay.
Did you do that and roll your eyes just like that?
No, this was all internal, like, okay, and then I just went back to taking notes.
So did it make you want to participate anymore?
No.
See, that's the thing that bothers me, is that once something like that happens, instead of trying again, you guys shut down. I'm just saying that kind of bothers me, and I wish that, this is something that I've also recognized with my children, is they rarely tell me about things when it first happens. I find out years later.
Yeah.
You know, had Lance talked to me about this situation at the time, I could have helped her work through it and be able to participate again. And I think that's one thing that parents can do better, is talk to their children and say, hey, it's okay to tell me about these, annoyances in class, even if it's your teachers. I'm not going to call the teacher and belittle them, and I'm not going to sit there and tell you you're absolutely wrong either. I'm going to talk to you about the situation and say, hey, what could you have done better? What could the teacher have done better? Help you get through it, because I don't want you to be shut down in class.
I was kind of working through it myself.
Were you?
Yeah, because then, next day I was just like, yo, what's up?
So you participated another time?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
I just didn't participate again in that discussion.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
So,
okay.
Don't mention wigs anymore.
Okay.
So, that happened. Now onto the good learning environments. What about you?
I like witty teachers. Witty teachers keep my attention.
Like Tony Stark kind of witty?
Yeah, kind of like that. Or just witty. Witty teachers. Teachers that use analogies and other connectors that I'm familiar with. Like they make a pattern or a connection, a process, something like that.
Pop culture references.
Just anything that kind of connects the information. I like classes that are 45 minutes or less. I think that's a good time frame for people to retain information. I like minimal homework.
Yes.
And I like purposeful homework. Do not give people homework for the sake of giving them homework. I think that's ridiculous.
This is 30% of your grade. Excuse me?
Well, I think it needs to be like math. It's purposeful to have homework for math.
Because it helps you practice the stuff you learn.
Exactly. Math is a practice.
I never really had anything against math homework because I was quite shitty in that subject anyway, so the homework helped me kind of retain that information.
The worst homework assignment I had was in my bachelor's degree. This is the class that I failed, by the way, on purpose.
Oh.
They wanted us to rephrase every definition in the textbook as homework.
Yeah, I never got that.
I'm like, I just quit.
I never understood that. Like, why are you going to ask me to rephrase
It was busy work.
definitions?
This teacher, I found out later on that this teacher does not like online classes, distance learning. He likes in-person classes. And I took that class with another teacher, passed it with an A. And then I took a class with him in person, and it was great. He just does not like distance learning.
It's not really his shtick. So.
And they didn't really have it set up. The teachers had to set it up themselves. Like my PhD program, every course has it's laid out. And then, so the instructor, look at me, I can't talk, the instructor could just use that formula that they give them, that guideline, and it would still be a great class. But then you have the teacher, and I can tell which ones do it. Then you have the teachers that add to it, like a little bit of seasoning to it.
Yeah. So it's not like just...
And those are the classes that I like.
You like the seasoned potatoes, not the plain
yes,
ones.
So in the distance learning classes that I have taken for my PhD program, the ones with the teachers that are actually interactive and add to the course material, those are the classes that I actually learn stuff in.
Okay.
What about you?
So, I like interactive teachers too because it makes it easier.
We're twins!
But I also like when the teachers like give us some downtime for when we're working and aren't constant like talking.
Yeah, because then it sounds like Charlie Brown's teacher.
Yeah, and then they get like when my teachers did this. And when you're working, because you actually have to get this stuff done, because they give you a time frame, like get this done before the end of class.
I love when they keep talking. They tell you, okay, you're gonna go ahead and get started right now, and then they keep talking. Even on standardized tests, I've seen them do that.
And talking, and then they get on you about working while they are talking. When you, the teacher,
you're taking my time, dude. Or chick. Okay, so that's what you don't like. What do you so you like when they give you the time that you need?
Exactly, because now for our classes you definitely need time to work on your art pieces. If you're going to like a higher class, you need to work on your art portfolio.
You want to know some sciencey stuff on why they probably do that?
Portfolio, and hold on a minute. I think I just knocked my mic. And then, like, when it comes to English classes, they have you read through and, like, annotate, highlight, write little paragraphs and stuff like that. Like, I'd like to have an ample amount of time to do my work. It's just, if you talk and it's not, like, it goes back to the entire music thing. I need, like, auditory patterns to happen, and when people are talking, I can't really...
It sounds so nerdy when you say that.
Shut up.
It does. I'm so proud, y'all. She's a nerd.
And when people are talking, I can't really find patterns, like subconsciously find patterns in their speech or something like that, because that's never really worked for me. Like, I know speech writers for, like, politicians and stuff.
Funny, hold on. So funny you say that. Hold on.
Like,
because when you do, wait, I need to touch on this, though. I really do. I need to touch on this. So, when you do my quote graphics, I talk to you about cadence.
Yeah.
And I'm like, make sure you have a good cadence based on lines. So, if the whole quote does not fit, like if it's not like 3 words, like you have to make a couple of lines, like, go with the cadence. So you talk about speech patterns and stuff.
Like, I can't find those.
I'm going to need you to find them on those quotes, because I'm getting tired of fixing that shit.
It's just, like, I can't find cadence in people's voices, or when like, in
apparently
blogs.
You can't create cadence either.
Or in blogs. Because...
You want to punch me right now, don't you?
Because it's never something that occurred to me, like, ever. And it will probably take a lot longer.
It's funny how you need it, but you can't create it.
I can't create it, but I need it. Probably because I listen to music so much and I hear, like, instrumental patterns rather than the vocals. But yeah, that thing. Now the sciencey stuff on my teachers keep talking.
Okay, so when I teach Safe Talk class, I talk as an instructor about silence. So because when somebody's thinking about suicide, you ask them the question and then they say yes, and you're saying, okay, I'm listening, this sounds really serious, and you want to give them space to talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
But some people have a problem, well, a lot of people have a problem with that silence, right? So it's very uncomfortable. That silence is very uncomfortable. So think about it. If a teacher feels uncomfortable with that silence because they haven't gotten used to it,
They want to fill that.
exactly. And even as when I started out being an instructor, I had a hard time with the silence, and then I started getting used to if I lost my place, I would think it was like a whole 5 minutes when I was looking for my place in my notes, and it was like 2 seconds, right? So silence is really uncomfortable. Your sister has a really hard time with silence, Kyra, because I would sit in the car with her.
I was about to say,
Oh my
which
gosh.
one?
I would sit in the car with this girl and
Music is last.
I would have music on and she would stop talking. Like she would start talking because the music was on. I guess she wanted to say something. But then I would turn the music off and she would just get all quiet. And like she's just weird about it. And then she would stop talking. I'm like, well, okay, are you done talking? As soon as I turn the music on, like she started talking again. So she's kind of the opposite. Like, silence makes her really uncomfortable just in a different way. But I'm wondering if those teachers were really uncomfortable with silence. Like, they felt like they had to fill up the space.
Yeah, like silence too, but like when we can't listen to music, I focus on like pen stuff, like
Yeah, you really liked when you had teachers that would let you listen to music while you worked.
Yeah, because it made it easier, because it's just like, oh, hey, I can associate this, and this with this, and this. Oh, patterns, woo!
We didn't have that freedom when I was in school I find that children have more freedom in school right now. I think some of it is good and some of it can be disruptive.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good learning lesson because as a teacher, you can explain to the students like, hey, I'm going to give you the option to make all these choices. And if your choice impacts somebody else, you don't get that choice anymore. And I think it's a good learning lesson, but that's got to be hard on teachers because they have so many students.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting. School is interesting to me nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was very linear. This is how you multiply, this is how you do this is how you do that. And there was no, oh, you could do it this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, or this way. You sat your ass in the seat and you shut up and, it was just different. When I had to walk uphill both ways.
So
When the damn dinosaurs roamed.
Like, the thing about the different options of you can do it this way, this way, this. Yeah.
That shit drives me nuts. And here's why it drives me nuts.
It drives me up the wall.
Here's why that bothers me. Because you're not making them figure it out.
Yeah. Oh.
If it doesn't work for them the way you teach it, then they need to figure out a different way.
Yeah.
And allow them to. I hate teachers that make you show your work even though you already know that. Like my friend, he's like a genius. Like seriously.
And they dock points.
He got docked points for using a pen in math. In college, people. He got docked points for not showing his work. In college, he went to Notre Dame. And he Huh?
Is Notre Dame college in France?
No, it's not in France.
No, wait.
How do you not know where Notre Dame is?
I'm sorry. I don't
know where Notre Dame is. I know it's in the United States.
It's in the U.S.?
Yes.
Well,
it's like a prestigious school.
Hold on. So
like popular football team.
So Notre Dame to me is all the way across the Atlantic Sea.
Oh, you're talking about the Hunchback of Notre Dame?
Yes.
So anyways, he knew the answers. Like he could do it he can do like high level math in his head. It used to piss him off so bad.
Yeah.
I think that's insane.
I'm like, so if I already know that, like, I understand why some teachers want you to show the work and will dock points, but it doesn't make it any less irritating when you know the answer. It's like, hey, what's 2 plus 2, or what's 2A plus 2B? And it's like,
it's like it has to
2A.
be all or nothing for kids. It really does. It's like either you're going to be strict about everything, or you're going to be lenient. Like, they can't have this back and forth thing. So if you're going to let them listen to music and do all this fluffy stuff where it's okay because it's so cool in the 2000s and 2020s, you know, if you're going to let them be like that, like be hipster, then you have to give them the option to not show their work. But if you want them to follow directions 100%, then you have to be 100% a tyrant. Like, you can't have it both ways.
No. Because there's like, for me, there's like this sweet spot between strict and like lenient.
Yeah, I'm that.
I like that sweet spot.
That's because I raised you.
Yeah, it's a really nice sweet spot. Like, hey, you can listen to music, but you have to do this.
How many other of your peers do you think are like that though?
Now, I think in my peer group, like, I don't really associate with other students that much. Like, I know, like, 1 or 2 other people in all of my classes, if that makes any sense. I only really talk to, like, a couple people. But they listen to music while they work, and they do all the steps and stuff. They show all their work and stuff. Now, this is for math. And this is when the teacher does let us listen to music, because sometimes we can listen to music in math class. This was
So here's my other issue with all these different ways of math. If one way works for you and the other way doesn't, why do you have to use the other way just because they said to use the other way?
Yeah, I never got that. So
why are you teaching them all these different ways if you're not going to let them choose?
Okay, so for this question, we're going to use.
I'm putting that on a meme.
We're gonna use
like that
the
girl.
quadratic equation.
I don't want to do all that. We're almost at an hour.
Shush.
Okay.
So they give you 3 ways. Stop that. They give you 3 ways.
Math,
I hate math too.
Then why are we talking about it?
Hold on. This is a different ways to solve the thing. They give you 3 ways, and each of those 3 ways have multiple steps.
You want to know how many times I've used the quadratic equation?
The quadratic equation? How many times? None. Like, I've never used the quadratic equation.
My favorite meme is like, why do you use a calculator? You're not gonna have one when you're handy when you're at the store. And everybody's like, yeah, we do.
It's a phone.
We have phones now. That's like my favorite. It did frustrate me though when you guys would ask me how much stuff would be like with tax and stuff or with percentages off, and I'm like, do the freaking math.
Well, because they don't teach us that in school anymore.
Girl, I could do percentages like nobody. I can do percentages and I can do fractions, but it's because I like to bake. I think that's why I was so good at fractions.
Yeah, but we're gonna get onto that in a different topic.
I know. No, I don't want to talk about math anymore. I think we're good.
Hold on.
We are at 59:09. I'm gonna lick your hand if you don't move it.
So, they give us these different ways with multiple steps. Now, way B worked for me the best because it's like, oh, hey, this.
You call it way B?
Way B. Way A, way B, way C. No, A and B were kind of my thing. C was never my thing, but I liked B the most. So, and it worked for me. But I had to do A, B, and C, and I'm like, this hurts. This hurts me. Now, we're done with math.
Oh, what?
So,
I fell asleep there for a moment.
God, you're dramatic. So extra.
Me? No.
Yes, you. Now,
when I try to rein you in, you don't let me.
It's like, wait, hold on. I haven't got my point across yet.
You need to be more succinct.
I hate being succinct, though. I mean, I can be succinct. It's just...
The word of the day. Succinct.
It's just a little difficult for me to be succinct.
Sunny days. Keeping those clouds away.
What?
Can you tell me how to get How to get to Sesame Street.
Just down the road.
Sesame Street was brought to you by the word succinct.
Get out. Just leave. So.
And quadratic equation.
It's quadratic.
Quadratic. Quadratic. Quadratic. I'm gonna be like your grandpa.
You're.
Fuck everything up.
It's rude. It's me. No, stop that. Now, a good learning environment also includes relationships. So, like,
You don't go to school for relationships, you go to school to learn.
That's not what I'm talking about.
I'm kidding.
So, student-teacher relationship, the respect kind of goes both ways.
No, it doesn't.
No, really, because...
That's how you want it to be, but that's not how it is.
That's not how it is. But with all of my teachers, they respected the students, and the students respected them back. Like, they had to, give them consequences. The teachers had to give students consequences. But it was they weren't... What's the word for it? I can't find the word. But it was hey, yo, what's up? Respect me, I'll respect you. That kind of thing. We respected each other. The students and the teachers respected each other, and that made it easier for everyone else, and we understood that when we were was it in the wrong, or that we did something that was that got on their nerves, we were yeah, we're not gonna do that anymore type thing. Because they weren't, because it's easier because as you get older, it's harder for teachers to control you because you don't like that anymore. So I think it's more of a respect thing, because when you're I'm going on a tangent, aren't I? You're just gonna let this happen.
I tried to stop you. You won't stop. So I'm gonna let you finish your long ass story.
Because I'm also trying to work out the wording too. So give me 10,000 years and we'll get there. So when you're a kid, it's easier to control your students when they're younger, because they don't really have minds of their own just yet. Kids can be assholes. They can be really disruptive and disrespectful, and the teachers have to deal with that. But it's easier to rein them in. But as they get older, it gets harder, because home life and school life are just affecting their mentalities and stuff like that, and all their relationships outside and inside of school, and they're and they talk and all that crap, right? So, and when we reach a certain point in our school career, we want to be respected at a base level minimum. If you respect us a little more than that, great, we'll respect you the same, if not more.
What's an example of you not being respected by a teacher?
Ooh. So we're gonna go back to
in 50 words or less.
We're gonna go back to the substitute teacher.
Okay, so wait. Because you're gonna tell a long story.
No. The name thing, right? The name thing. So. You mispronounce her name, right? We tell you how to pronounce the name, or we give you a preferred name because you're only going to be there for a day, and you completely dismiss it to us. That is disrespectful. So we kind of don't want to say deal with you, but we don't want to kind of even begin to try to converse with you if you're going to be like that over a name that we prefer, or we're telling you how to pronounce correctly. So, is that kind of thing. Take our
You have a problem with silence, too.
Yeah!
You need me to interrupt you to be able to get a word in. Sometimes you just need to be quiet and let me get a word in. Or say, hey, Mom, what do you think about this?
Yeah. So, what do you... Your thoughts, please?
So, my thoughts. My first thought that I'm going to give you is I'm kind of going to start at the end of what you just said. Who are you hurting when you decide to dismiss a teacher?
The teacher.
No, you're not.
We're not hurting the teacher, or
No.
we're hurting the students, or we're hurting ourselves.
You're hurting yourselves because now you're not going to get your education. So you have a choice. You have a choice to make, which goes to you talking about how you cannot control kids as they get older. I don't think we can control. We really can't control anybody. Is my opinion. We just, as you get older, you start weighing consequences. So, I'll give you an example. I could spank your sister, your oldest sister. I could spank her all day, every day, and she will still do what she wants to do. Even when she was young, right? Mm-hmm. Kyra, on the other hand, if I just looked at her funny, like, oh, right? Because she didn't like the consequence of disappointing me. Kayla would weigh her consequences. And she'd be like, well, I'll just take the damn spanking and still do what I want to do. So it's not about control. It's about, as you get older, I think more and more people start weighing those consequences.
Of like, is it worth it?
Is it worth exactly. So it's not about controlling the students. Now, to the respect thing. I think teachers don't realize that, and parents too. You don't really control your kids. You just don't. They just choose to follow you or choose the consequence if you really get down to it. As far as the respect thing, there's two different types of respect that you have to consider when you're in school. One is respect for the position, and two is respect for the individual. We have the same issue in the military. I may not respect you as a person, but I have to respect your position.
Okay.
And I think that's what students, they get those two
Mixed
up, confused. They think they're the same, and they're not. They are the teacher. You are the student. You have the privilege of going to school. They have the responsibility for teaching you and how they see fit. They are the adult. And even if you're an adult in school, like, it's still, they're the teacher, you're the student. It's like a chain of command. You respect that position. And that's what I have a hard time with. Now, I've never had any issues with any of my children. I've never been called to say that my kids are disrespectful to teachers and that I've just raised my children to be that way. However, you've told me some things. You know, you walked out of the classroom. That's kind of disappointing. But I understood why you did it. I walk away from situations too. It's not like you threw your desk across the way as you were walking out. You silently left. I couldn't ask for a better response compared to what I could have found out about, right?
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, your child threw an entire book bag at the substitute.
Right.
Like,
I would not. That would not have been tolerated.
Yeah.
So, hearing my perspective on it, does it kind of change your perspective on it a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah. Because, like, I understand position. Like, at least.
I know you do.
Try to respect the position.
I don't think you try. I think you do. Like, I think it's when they don't earn your respect as a person, you take it personally and it hurts you. Like you want to be friends with everybody, like, and you haven't gotten to the time in your life where you're like, psh.
I want to at least be an acquaintance with this person who's only going to be here for a day. At least an acquaintance. You don't have to be my friend.
You want to be liked. It's okay.
It's just like
that's the age.
It's just like it's a little easier.
But do you understand what I said when you guys start tuning out the teachers that you're actually hurting yourself, not the teacher? You think you're punishing the teacher?
And they're like, whatever.
They're going to go home and have dinner with their spouse and play with their own children that actually love them.
It's like, yeah, they just didn't do their work.
You're not hurting them like you think you are.
I was like, whatever.
So for any parents that don't know how to have this conversation with their kids about this topic, that is my advice to you, is to get them to see that they're not hurting the teacher. They're hurting themselves. And they don't have to respect the teacher as an individual. They have to respect their position. And there's a difference. Those are the two things that I think would be a really good conversation to have with their frustrated students, especially high school because you guys are really trying to come into your own, and you're trying to set your own boundaries, and you're trying to set your own standards of how you want to be treated, and not everybody's going to treat you the way you want to be treated.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't always treat you the way you want to be treated. You don't always like what I do.
Yeah, and I'm like,
And then what do I tell you? There's the door. I'm just kidding. No, I don't.
I was like, just go in your room or something. Leave me alone.
Well, and if any of my kids express to me that they don't like living here and they're of age, and I'm like, well, you do have a choice. There's the door. So it's not like I don't hear you guys, but once we have that conversation, if you keep having a problem with the way I run my house,
yeah,
because I'm the queen.
Yeah.
I'm the queen of this house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I respectfully, I don't say, well, then you can just leave. I'm like, well, you have a choice. You can live here, you can find somewhere else to live.
Yeah.
So do you think we beat this enough?
Yeah. We've successfully kicked a dead horse.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So me and Lance would love to hear your thoughts on some of the things we talked about today, whether it's, good or bad learning environments, respecting others, how different situations impact you. We would love to hear it. However you're listening to us, go ahead and leave us a comment. We'll respond. So I am Christina.
I'm Lance.
And this is My Mom and Me podcast. This is a production of I'm Motherfucking Awesome Yo. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, our website. We're all over the place. So we'd love to hear from you, and we out. Deuces.
Bye.